But anyway, Ninjas in Pajamas will start on the CT side of Nuke.
Yeah, Dennis already there on the bomb site, ready and waiting with the PT-1000, but it's going to be an easy take from Gambit. And actually, this is a really interesting matchup. We didn't really talk about it. Having Nuke between these two teams, I think, is pretty unpredictable. NiP historically were quite good on Nuke, but the core has changed somewhat since the old days. And they will get wiped out on the pistol round just to a simple uppertake. So, alright. AKs all around, perhaps. Oh wow. Mac 10, anyone? Dozier? Mac 10?
What?
Anything?
Bye, Dusha.
Oh, he's saying on the PT 50. Is he?
PTK.
Wow.
That's an interesting one. Is he expecting, well, maybe it's a good read because only one person has a helmet in this entire round, although it is somewhat of a weak buy. But maybe it's you know, they're hedging their bets in a sense where they expect probably one person's going to die. So let's have one less weapon collected. And there we go. Now a rifle can be picked up. Now rifle can be picked up for NiP because Forest is killing all kinds of people. Sees now 13 HP, 1 versus 2. He needs him some headshots. It's going to be really tough for him to avoid getting traded. Spotted now by Forest, and he realizes this is a really tough spot. Oh, Forest! He's showing the dome, but there's a double peek. Forest with a third.
Forest has decided that.
Yeah. No more Wolfpack.
Yeah, he's.
Five-man Wolfpack didn't.
How dare you be half an hour late? Take this and this and this.
This is really nice by NiP. Kind of shows you the power of just having timely rotations, even if you don't have the best guns. Having good rotations, you can punish the harder choke points that the T's have to move through. And that is this. Oh, this is Rob's business. That is what you see Rob basically do every single round. What Dozier does here. You blow open the door, you get the forward smoke.
Feels like a significant difference that the door has been moved back, been moved closer to the T's in that respect. Ninjas in Pajamas now, firmly in the driving seat. Dozier may have got himself an off angle. I don't think he was seen by Rez, but what can he really do in the situation? By taking that with the scouts outside. Adren's got a kill, so they know roughly where he is. So Dozier's the only question mark. That question mark.
Why is he got Tech 9s?
Remember he had the 5-7 yesterday. He's going so against the grain. I like it. I like it. He's trying to do a Bard off.
He was rocking the 5-7 yesterday.
The 5-7.
Why is... But...
I feel compelled to use the 5-7. I have to.
I can kind of understand the 5-7. The 5-7 is still good. It's still like really good, but the Tech 9 is crap.
It depends
sucks,
on the range.
Right?
It depends on the range.
What kind of range is it good at?
I think it's probably range, but I think it's better at. I think it's. I want to say that it might be okay at like a medium range, but I haven't really used it enough to.
You get those like running, you know, taps, just tap, tap, tap.
Yeah, I think you just need to shoot slow. You can't spam it as fast as you used to be able to, but I think it still has some viability. I have re-enabled it recently. Oh, that's always a nice one. Stopping the rush through the door. Forest doesn't need to see to kill.
Do we feel like Forest is going to have a big game?
It's looking like it.
I feel like he's going to have a big game. After that first Eagle round, it just already seemed like things are going to go well for NiP. And they had more warm-up time because Gambit were late to their match.
We just got some gaming PCs in the office, and while we were waiting, I was setting one up, and I just logged into Steam, and I saw like Exist's name pop up in my friends list with a FaZe Clan logo, which is just like weird to me, you know.
That is very strange.
Not used to it. Not used to it just yet. But anyway, it is Ninjas in Pajamas playing today. 3 smoke wall outside for Gambit, and they will start to move quickly towards Secret with Adren. One of my favourite players, has to be said.
Adren is pretty amazing. Ooh, some outside picking from Hobbits will work out against Dragon, but still the man advantage for NiP. And again, I think it's just such a good map for NiP generally. Of course, you only really have Get Right and Forest from the core of the team in which you would say that these guys are absolutely just beasts on this map. But still, and it is a new edition of the map, but still it's proving, you know, successful so far for NiP. Adren has crept to lower levels.
Good awareness by Dennis.
He was ready.
Adren and Hobbits. It's been a tough start to Nuke for Gambit. He rotates towards the B bomb site. He would have been heard going down the vent by Rez. Stuck in the corner now. Nobody to trade for him. So opportunity knocks for Hobbit. Down goes the bomb, but how far can he reposition? This is an interesting off angle.
I like this.
These new boxes. This is a nice angle indeed. When he see Dennis though, touching the bomb. Oh! Can't get one of the 2 kills. And the round will be with NiP.
I actually thought that he would win the round with that position. That was really strong.
If Dennis wouldn't have like readjusted his movement a little, he gets that kill and then whips up. Yeah.
Looks very scary.
They changed the color of those boxes very recently as well.
Oh, really?
Which, yeah, because they were, I want to say they were orange like these doors. And I do wonder if that is something to do with the player models and if they'll maybe change them to the ones that like on Dust 2, for example, because the ones on Dust 2 have significant problems with that map in particular because a lot of the textures are very similar to the color of the players and you really can't see them in a lot of situations. But who knows? Only time will tell. I'm still waiting for those changes to be made to Dust 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it's taking a while, unfortunately. You want to see Dust 2 back in action, but
I don't want to see it back in action.
You don't?
No.
You don't want to see Dust 2?
It's crazy. The amount of people that don't want it back after I tweeted, because I tweeted yesterday, I'm like, where is Dust 2? So many people responded saying they don't want it back.
Yeah,
it's shocking.
It's a great map.
I thought
the previous edition was really good.
Yeah, but if they add it, it's going to be the same, but maybe worse. Whereas Inferno, I think the Inferno changes were really cool. I don't think it's there for Dust 2, man. It's
Inferno got better, but I still feel like Inferno's no better. I mean, I feel like Inferno's a worse map than Dust 2 is.
I think so. Yeah, I think Dust 2 is a great map. I think people just don't like change.
I think so.
Because the same people that don't want it back are the people that were probably upset when it got taken out originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people don't like change. I'm open to change, but well, we'll come back to it. There are 40 seconds for Gambit, still in control of the bomb, to try and get the bomb down at the very least.
Gambit have been really good at just sneaking players down lower, and at the same time, NiP have been pretty good at being sort of aware enough and playing positionally well enough to deal with it. That said, Hobbit is on a mission here through main, but the position of Forest could be an issue. If Forest has a good timing, which he will, he'll catch Hobbit, and now the taps will follow, but it sees to make it work instead of Forest, and that's the bomb plant. So another bomb plant here for Gambit, but can he win the 1v2? Seized has quite a few issues here. Both players are fully healthed up. Dennis, he's
lagged out.
He is definitely not present at the moment. So it's a 1v1. Is Rez pushing? Yes, he is. From heaven. Where the hell is Seas? He could be anywhere. Nice position by Seas. Very close, but doesn't actually... Was he looking above?
Yeah, he didn't hear him drop.
He didn't hear him tap the bomb.
But he's probably looking for the person who's covering him. He's looking for Dennis.
Oh my god. Next
Dennis.
level.
Meanwhile, Dennis is trying to get through the fence and get out of here.
He's grinding like he's in the club. So, yeah, going back to Dust 2, I would much rather see a new map take a place in a map pool rather than have Dust 2 return. And also, having spent a reasonable amount of time on Dust 2, I think it's weird. I think if you look at the changes on Inferno, for me, a lot of those changes are interesting, whereas the changes on Dust 2, I feel like were more obviously, so it's not the same map in that sense. But like if you look at like shorts from mid to short, you had a curved wall before, you could bounce a flashbang, someone was holding an angle, like, you know, they made the wall flat just to make it different.
Yeah.
One thing, though, from your perspective is you've seen a lot of professional teams play the new Inferno, whereas we haven't seen professional teams take the new Dust. So there may be some new stuff that's actually kind of cool, maybe.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, but I just think that the map layout is so basic. I think it's going to be hard to see that. I think we have...
Well, that's why I think I like it. It's the most basic map, right? It's like that has that 3-lane system, like 1A, 1B, and then there's mid. It's like the most basic thing that's possible in Counter-Strike. I think we need that in the pool.
It has a lot of good opportunities for both CTs to get aggressive as well. And I mean, there's lots of really, like the original Dust 2 that we had for years, from like a rotations perspective and what T's could do. Like there was a lot of really advanced like mind games and ways to do all sorts. Like it was a very deep map actually. And I think that a lot of the, back then I felt like there was only 2 teams that actually even played the map to its potential for a while. And Astralis were consistently innovating on it and so on. And and you could play the shock scream G2 style, and that would work as well. Or you could be really deep like Astralis, and that would work. Yeah,
I think open maps definitely have a place in the map pool, but I think you need balance between maps like Overpass and then maps like Cache or Dust 2. So it can replace a certain type of map. But for me, I would just rather see. I mean, you said that you'd like to see Sub-Zero in the map pool. I haven't touched it or looked at it yet since it was an orange box. But
I've only seen videos, so I've never actually run around on the map. But I mean, based on what I've seen in the videos, it looks like such a different and unique map. And it's just like, it's gorgeous. Like it's a very well-made map.
Yeah. So for me, looking at Dust 2 as it currently stands, I think it needs some significant changes. Mainly with regards to visibility. But personally, I'd rather see a different map. But anyway, that's a good start for Forest, shooting Dozier immediately. But look at this charge from Gambit. This will be heard by Get Right. And Draken's going to position himself accordingly, but we'll see second player, but only the one, which is good for him. And there's a delivery. He can just hold this angle and wipe everybody out, Draken. Nice.
Spacing was a little bit rough there.
Yeah, I need to watch some complexity demos.
Yeah. Regardless.
And the thing is, like, I'm not saying that in jest. That is actually their spacing yesterday was amazing. If you missed it, you can definitely check their Inferno game against Cloud9.
Yeah.
It was Cloud9, right?
No, Luminosity.
Luminosity, right. I thought Draken would miss that shot because, like, the fine timing that he would have to counter strafe without expecting to.
I thought you were gonna go with a 30-degree angle meme.
Oh no. Yeah.
That's an easier shot than it looks. If you like do a lot of it free for all DM, it's a standard shot.
Definitely a difficult one.
Easy for Bardol. Moving close to main now with a light to buy here. Gambit really struggling on their T side. Been serious shutdowns on these rounds that NiP has won. Forest has been taken out early. Maybe that's the start they need. Mo switching out to the AK, spots one head, spots second one. Draken taken out, he knows one more player is there.
Now the retake commences through main, both players. That's not a bad look considering there's no smoke to deny them entrance. That sort of would be otherwise the GG. But there's no smoke to deny them. They'll move forwards, straight into Mo. Not much he can do. Dozier with the Deagle. Definitely a chance to pull this one off, but he's got to hit some fantastic shots. There's a couple nice meat shots, but Get Right will jump in and get the trade in a timely manner for the defuse. And the round will be won. Another one for NiP, but Gambit, they've created many opportunities consistently. Getting the bomb down, sneaking players around, creating flanks, getting damage in as well, no matter what they hold. So, despite it being 7-1, there's a lot of damn close rounds.
Yeah, they could easily swing it because how many kills they're getting every round. NiP's economy isn't that great considering they're up 7-1, like you said.
It was before that round. That round was a very expensive one for them. There were at least one player on $10,000. Money has had to be spent. Here come the smokes once again. Don't know what that smoke is near a Dren. It's a nuisance one. Get Right. That is a dirty angle. Only player he spots outside. I know nobody else is there. It's a ramp play now. Grenade falling at Rez's feet, and Mo will finish him off. Draken Molotov's off the angle, got flashbang support, but he has to move back in case there's some kind of pop around the corner. Very tight angle being held now, giving himself space to retreat. He's trying to figure out what's going on, spotted by the vents. Again, it looks difficult for Gambit, but they've taken advantage of this distraction with Dozier in A.
Yeah, again, just quite quickly getting some cool positions. Very nice adjustment there from Dozier to take down Dennis and continue to hold on to this upper bomb site. Now, will he be able to sit there happily for the time being, or will he be able to get back in here? We'll see Draken poking and prodding with the AWP. Can't quite find anyone just yet. As Seas will go for the plant, Dozier covering, and Forest on the flank will find Mo. Beautiful timing from Forest. And now the proceedings will start as the rest of the NiP side press on for the retake.
Where are the other two players? That is the question for Gambit. So here one player towards main. The ladder play goes out as Forest picks off Seas and finishes off Dozier as well. Indeed, it is a good day for Forest. 3 kills for him in this round, and he really is racking up 13 for 5 at the moment is Forest. He's all over the place.
His timings are so on point right now in his peaks. Also, I noticed when Seas was running in the HUD, he looked to the right, tried to look out the window, and realized it wasn't there.
It's hard to blame him, man. That conditioning of like 15 years of Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
15 years of HUD windows.
Has the team embraced like putting retake on upper on this new unit? Because I feel like it would be so easy without a window, right? You give up the site, you come back, you either smoke or molly hut, and you smoke front door. There's not many places for the T's to hide. They can't get in the rafters anymore. Feels like it would be so easy, right?
That's a good point, yeah.
Seas moving very quickly, misses a player outside, maybe just popped up on the radar, but too many targets, too many man, and Get Right will take advantage from the main position. Grenades coming out for the T side, bouncing off into main as well. Flashbangs are there, but Draken can still see. However, scopes in and he can't see the player on the roof. Get Right with some shadow advantage, moving back into the smoke. Did he hear Dozier, or is he just harassing? Dozier taking him by surprise. Fast moving round. It's a nice snap from Dozier. He's been good on the A site so far, but again, just the one round so far for Gambit. Oh. Hobbit saving the bacon there. That leaves Rez alone. 1 versus 3 coming around the hut position. Again, no window, no trade. How does he get the last 2 kills? Bomb on the outside. We see Hobbit quietly in the squeaky door. Both T's with AWPs. Hobbit better be good with this. Ooh, shoulder peek was there, but Hobbit was ready for it. 3 kills for Hobbit with the AWP in that round.
Was Rez trying to peek with the sort of like the dust kicked up by the...
Maybe so, like the JW thing.
Yeah, yeah, on
He's
dust too.
so good with that. I think he's the first player I've ever seen use that really effectively.
JW?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mean the Dust 2 clip where he
Yeah.
takes it, yeah, on long?
I've seen him do it somewhere else too.
Mirage.
Yeah.
I made a video of both of them. One on long and one on Mirage. He did a full spray from ramp to CT spawn to kill the guy as well. It's ridiculous.
JW is so good for innovation. What a player. Hard not to be a fan. So 1v, player lost on either side. And once again, Gambit take the ramp area. But again, you know, we see that NiP are pretty good with repositioning. They show some really solid fundamentals from that perspective. This is a very different map as to how the CT rotations work. And Get Right's using it to his advantage. Can't get the double on the spray that he wanted. So it's a 3v3, but Gambit still aren't on the bomb site just yet. Mo's going to make the dash and plant in the smoke. So now NiP are on the retake mission.
Dozier won't expect the second player next to the vents. Can they get done fast enough? Draken with the shoulder peek. It's going to be hard for him to go back to the well. Dozier ready for that one as well, but Dennis will win the duel. Will they open a double door, looking to clear out the control room. It is a different area as well, the redesign here from Valve. Move, a nice angle, but he won't be covering this. Oh, he shoots him in the back. The knife is coming out though, and it's perfect. Draken alone now will be the last man to fall. Another round in the bag for Gambit. Another expensive round for Ninjas in Pajamas.
Yeah, Gambit's done it. They've broken the economy.
Nice. If he doesn't hit
Quite
that,
a trade.
Yeah, what a trade.
if he doesn't hit that, their chances to win the round are so much lower. It's kind of crazy. And it kind of looks like, from the scoreboard and so on, that Gambit aren't having a good time. But to be honest, they're set up fairly well to have a pretty good half. And I would imagine that they're going to have a pretty strong CT side as well. So it's likely quite a close game we actually have on our hands at the moment, not to be mistaken. CC is just running amok through the ramp position.
Dang, he really wanted that one. He hunted Forest.
I have, on the map discussion, so James, do you think it's, because one thing is, like, do you feel like it's more likely that Valve would put a more fixed Dust 2 back in, or just put a new map in? Because I feel like they just recycle maps, as opposed to putting new maps in.
I disagree with that, because you have maps like Overpass, you have a map like Canals, which is an interesting one, but in an awkward situation where they can't get enough data necessarily on the map because it's so different. People don't want to play it because they don't like learning new stuff. They want to be led by YouTube videos and so on. So I don't think that argument is necessarily fair. Also, somebody on Twitter, oh, okay, we'll come back to it. We will come back to it. More actions happening. Forest may have spotted somebody in the open, squeaky door. Again, that door further back now means the T's get to it faster, which may encourage play towards the A site. And indeed, it looks that way with Gambit playing here. 4 rounds to the 8 of NiP, and Gambit are in a good position to maybe get a 7th round on the board eventually. They broke the money of NiP prior, now they teeter on the brink, and that might make NiP play a more passive, respectful style, which would offer advantages to Gambit as well, but then maybe not. Rez through the smoke immediately, expecting the peek. Hobbit switching up for the AK. 2 on 4.
Not an easy spot. Much needed round for NiP. Hobbit, though, very good catch from the Forest. Not an easy shot to make, but still lacking position on the map and a path to a safe passage for the bomb to make it to a site. And it's been collected now by Hobbit's teammate. Another very nice frag from Hobbit. He's having quite a game so far. Consistently causing problems for NiP. A 2v2 now with 35 seconds. Hobbit finally going down. How much can Mo do?
25 seconds. Making a run for it now. It's got to be quick. Bomb has to go down quickly. He'll go as fast as he can, but there's going to be a very quick presence on the ramp, actually. That is quite the record run from Rez. And that is round number 9 for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Yeah, I think it's really dangerous to allow that guy to plant in the lower side and just reposition, because those boxes, like you just saw, I think Rez do, you can climb up on the rafters like that, and you can reposition really, really quickly because of those boxes. I actually like that addition by Valve. I thought that added a lot of dynamics to post plants and clutch situations, and it was really cool to see them, you know, looking at that aspect of the game, because I think that that's why that's there.
I think you're the first person that has made a positive argument for it, which I like.
Yeah. Well, at first I had no idea why, but I think it's a post plant kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And get the run down here. Like that, this box here that Get Right's behind was put, I think that was put back in, because I think that was missing at some point. Either way, they make it down lower. Draken missing a shot or two, but the flicks will eventually land. There's no passage forwards. Forest also providing a barricade down lower, so Gambit cannot progress through that position, and they've lost the bomb as well. Seized and Dozy have to creep around the map now trying to get frags, and so NiP looking really strong.
Yeah, Draken's shutting down the secret holes down low, and when you can do that on nuke, when you have a player that's capable of that, I mean, you're making it very, very tough on the T side.
So let's see what the money's like. Okay, so very quickly, I think one thing we have to remember when we talk about Valve and recycling maps and so on is that they've made progressive updates of the entire game, of every aspect of the game, the models, updating the maps and so on. So I don't think it's like a recycling like you'd have someone like releasing a retro game on a new console or something like that. It's just the evolution of the game overall. So I don't think it will always be that way. But Dust 2 is the last map to be updated. So I think we will see more new maps.
I don't know, I almost disagree. I feel like they like recycling the maps. I mean, when you look at Overpass and all of the iterations of Overpass, especially in Cobble too, like they instead of removing those maps, they constantly just keep updating them. And same with Train. I mean, so I would be shocked if Dust 2 doesn't make its way back into the pool eventually.
Yeah, I was going to say that I felt like some of your arguments in disagreements actually supported the position that they do want to recycle maps. Like Overpass, or Canals as an example, that's too foreign.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be shocked if they add Canals, even though I want it. And same with Sub-Zero. Like, these are maps that I want in the pool just to like get some new blood in the pool. But it doesn't seem like something they would do, right?
Well, I wonder what the cost is of adding a map versus the cost, like the cost in terms of development of making your own map. You know, community versus internal is an interesting question, but I'll have to make a chat show segment at some point because it's time for the pistol round, time for the edge shots. Although maybe it's headshots since we don't have French players here. Rez with smoke and a flashbang on the T side. Dozier doing some work and Adren trying to, but only good for one.
Hobbit with a nice sniper position, and he will snipe well. Forest is down as the rest of NiP make their way into the upper bomb site, but they've lost the bomb. Got to go back for that. Frez needs to fight for it. Got the USP to do so, but is not proving all too easy so far as Gambit have now set up positioning around said bomb. So recovering it is going to be really awkward. Still gets a nice pop, and there's no option now to just climb up to the rafters as you used to be able to, so they can't get the high ground so easily. So we'll actually see, in an attempt to do so, Draken will go all the way back to lobby to go up to the silo, which in the old iteration of Nuke, maybe he would have actually just gone rafters to heaven, perhaps. So definitely those changes making things a bit interesting here.
It's too high to boost, right? Top pot.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't tested it, but I think so. Oh, Connor, Sliggy says you can boost it.
Really? Wow. That was 200 IQ.
Much needed pistol round for Gambit. Much needed indeed. 5 rounds on the board. And now they could very well have a dominant CT side as well. You often see that on Nuke. From old Nuke to new. But maybe it's easier said than done. NiP look on point today.
Maybe no one in the server knows that you can do the boost. Because imagine if NiP had done it and Gambit don't realize that it's possible.
Yeah.
Right? It would be really interesting.
It's definitely not something you would think of, right? Live in a game.
Yeah, it's pretty unlikely. That's another reason why I like new maps. I like discovery, and I like reward for experimentation.
Yeah, watching a map develop is really awesome. Which is an interesting thing about growing pains. You know, people would complain about like overpass and cobblestone and how everything changes. Oh, it wasn't ready, but how do you get it ready if you don't have the data? It kind of chicken and egg situation.
Yeah, remember Cash at the start, super CT sided,
yeah.
became T sided. So we have a pretty decent situation potentially for NiP if they're able to get a couple of frags, but they're struggling here. They've lost the bomb now, so I retract that statement. And now it's just going to be Dennis and Rez trying to just get some damage out, keep the pressure on the economy of Gambit. We saw how important that was from Gambit's perspective last half. They kept NiP's money relatively low. Low enough. Now Dennis is dead. I also personally don't think there's a problem with having a map be a bit, like be favored to one side or the other. That's why you have a map pool. So you can,
I agree.
you just want a map pool that's balanced overall. With a best of 3 in mind, is sort of how I look at it. But 11-6 is the score as we get a full save from NiP.
Yeah, that is quite the full save. C's unable to get a single kill out of that. Awkward. Hobbit, does he have the spray? Falling back, smart stuff. Doesn't want to get overwhelmed by the numbers. But now he can move forward as there are 2 of them. And he has been tagged down to 40, so he can take let his teammate absorb. Good little micro decision making there by Gambit. Reduce the risk. And here we are, 7 to the 11 of NiP, who are out with the 5 AKs. They've got the grenades. No, well, okay, there's one high explosive one to get right, so could be a fast opening of the squeaky door. Time will tell.
I always like watching NiP on T-side Nuke, by the way. They always do a lot of cool stuff, so... And this is going to be obviously a wall smoke. Like you said, get right to move up the squeak, smoke in front of it.
So really cool, like that smoke is such a good pressure smoke.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have, the $300 just means so much. Like there'll be counter grenades, it can affect rotations.
Yeah, you can see Doja actually going into the lower bomb site right now. He thinks get right could be down there, so he has to clear it. He's actually smart enough to realize he's not down there. So it's just
Minute 10 on the clock. Rez harassing the ramp area, causing the CTs to use their grenades. And speaking of grenades, Gambit pretty much use everything. It's going to be about the guns as far as they are concerned. And there's so much time on the clock for NiP. Gambit playing a guessing game. Where is safe? Where is unsafe? Where do we cover? Dozier simply waiting in the vents. He's pretty much stuck there. I don't know if he might even show.
This is amazing because this is like the next step of what you're talking about, Sean. The fact that GetRight realizes that that is a situation that can potentially happen, that the CT may have to go in there to clear it.
Yeah, it's like a total one-on-one mind game.
Yes. And that is something that GetRight does really well. That's what being a lurker often can be about. And he's still just imprisoning Dozier. It's the bomb has gone down, and it's not a good look here. Mo is going to help the effort massively. Dozier will eventually come up, and finally GetRight gets the kill on him. But can he save the round for his team? Such a good position, so strong. Eventually taken down by Seize, but where's Draken? He's ready behind the smoke. This is so tough to Seize. Really solid round from NiP, and GetRight in particular.
Yeah.
As soon as Mo got the pick from Radio Room, they knew immediately. NiP knew where all the CTs were, but there was a blind spot for GetRight, and Seize managed to get underneath him. But they still got the round at NiP. And that shortens the money very quickly of Gambit. Limited success on their CT side. We have a quick pause. In.
I do wonder who first really made that dynamic a consistent thing at the top level, where you detonate the door with an HE, throw the forward smoke, and sometimes you lurk it, sometimes you don't. Because I saw the person that I saw use that most effectively was Rops at the peak of Mousesports being maybe at some points the best nuke team. So so that's when I saw it the most. But I don't know if it was popularized previously by somebody else. But I first saw Rops do it really well.
Yeah, I think Robs does it the best. I don't think he was the first person to do it, but I think he was the first person to master it. Like he blows up the door. He sometimes gets in that left corner where he can basically see if you push in front of the smoke and get an easy kill on you. He's very good at manipulating the angles by the door behind that smoke, basically. And he takes a lot of different fights and engagements.
I feel like it's potentially stronger now just because of the way everything's set up. Like there's no hut window, which serves to help that position. I think the dimensions of the hut are a bit different, right? It's a bit taller.
Yeah, I think so.
And so you have a bit more cover from the rafters position. Obviously, you don't have to worry about someone being directly above main too. So it makes it, maybe that's actually why it sort of got popularized, because you don't have to worry about a guy being directly above you, which was always a problem moving to upper.
Welcome back, whoever was disconnected. Welcome back. It's a Mace song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is he still a pastor? Wait,
he was a pastor?
Yeah, he went to like do Jesus stuff. Mace, ages ago. I think he was like helping children. I don't know, it was like homeless people or something. Trying to do good stuff, but then
Jesus stuff.
But he's rapping again now. Maybe doing both. You know, he's got a hand in both.
What do you put hands in? Welcome Back is a great song.
Yeah, it's a nice little song, isn't it?
Song.
Gloves.
Mace was awesome, man.
I agree.
He was really good. 5-round lead for Ninjas in Pajamas now. Gambit should be resuming the game shortly after a brief disconnect.
It's a big round for Gambit's economy, too. They'll be in very bad shape if they lose this round.
Oh, man, yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. The game will almost be won. Well,
yeah.
the map at least. Damn.
Oh, match medic.
Round restore. Marvelous. Let us proceed with the proceedings.
I want spawns to be super relevant in CSGO. Like on certain maps. I remember going to tournaments in 1.6 where we would literally not go live. We would keep reconnecting until we had the double top spawn. Like sometimes you just had to have it, you know? It was so important to have that in 1.6.
I played a game recently which was live on 3, but they did 4 restarts and people started going nuts.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, he's a good sport. Absolute scumbags. Dozier in the vents once again. He's a fan of small places. Small spaces. Draken with some ninja maneuvering. How can I expect him here? Look at the aggression from Gambit. They realized they need an early advantage. He's looking for information, but it cost him. Draken now quietly advancing. This is so fast. 1:20 on the clock.
Yeah, this is a massive position. Already down a man on Gambit as well as the Draken. He's going to put a lot of pressure on that wound. perhaps open it further. Draken just cleaning up the upper bomb sites. Somehow Dren will escape, but he'll be pushed further into peril. As now it's just Mo left, and he's trying to keep her away. He's just like backing away, backing away. Don't want anything to do with this. Keep that AWP in his hands if he possibly can. And I wonder if, if NiP are going to be able to figure this out, because they know. I mean, it's so obvious when it's a 5v1 and they know that there was a buy and it's Mo left. There's an AWP somewhere, so they're already setting up for the kill onto Mo. And Red's going to find him really soon, which is really good for NiP. How do you kill Mo here now? You need really good spacing.
No flashes.
Oh. Yeah, need perfect spacing.
Run boost, run boost.
Yeah, let's get a run boost.
Let's see. Surely they're going to run boost. Yeah, Draken's crouching. There it is. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, come on. No, no! Marvelous.
I'm just happy they tried.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
I think that's good for camaraderie as well. They must have had a good time trying to do that / watching that.
CZ's has come to this. You can see the Gambit decided their position is so terrible that they wanted to force buy. The money was so off balance. They needed 2 saves anyway, which would put NiP obviously pretty damn far ahead. So let's see how this goes for Gambit. Rez in there with the Mag-10, finding the information, doing the damage.
Rez's turn. Ooh, it's interesting. In case anybody's close, he will hide behind the box. Running out of bullets now. CZs can be dangerous. Seems he might get his reload in. Forest and CT spawn. NiP enjoying a lot of real estate outside. This is always a good angle to hold the lobby from, in case there is a charge from ramp or something like that on an eco or a force buy. You are able to retreat, take multiple angles to limit your exposure to wide peaks and the numbers of the CT side. You're able to press on and give up the AK. Although it's still two CZs on this CT side. Make it 1, make it none. Crisis averted. Double the score now of their opponent, Ninjas in Pajamas.
Easy stuff for them.
Kitchen sink by 2 coming out of Gambit.
It's a tough life. It's a tough life. Maybe looking to replicate the scout action we saw from... Who was it? Oh, Luminosity, yeah. Luminosity's scout.
PKL.
If you guys missed it, there was like an insane 5 headshot scout round from Luminosity yesterday. But maybe Mo can replicate it. He's got 1. He needs to do a lot more than that though. Good tag. And there's the finishing blow onto Forest. So Mo, oh, I saw it happening. I saw it. Didn't happen though. 2 players left. No, bomb site actually claimed. I'm curious where NiP will decide to go. It feels like upper would feel better than going lower, but I don't know how NiP will interpret this. Because if you go lower, you have to go through all these choke points. It's harder. It feels like to space yourself out well. Whereas upper, you can kind of explode on it, and they should be fine with the AKs. They are just waiting. They're waiting for a reaction. The Gambit are just holding.
C's cannot be heard moving around from the position of NiP. Starting to look for information, starting to wonder. Only 2 pairs of eyes alive for Gambit. And C's will see nothing in B, nothing on ramp. They could be outside. Ooh, the timing. They start to move towards ramp. This is a problem though, because if they go towards B and C's is hiding somewhere, there are so many places he could be. Although, that's probably one of the better places as far as NiP is concerned, because if a door suddenly opens while they try to plant at very late time, then that would probably be more of an issue than where C's were standing. And there is the run for NiP.
I'm not sure why C's was peeking at all with a UMP.
Yeah.
That seems a bit strange. Like, you're kind of in a spot where you can only really realistically win a fight if it's close range. And he has a lot of close range spots, like he can worry about the door and so on, so... Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Felt like that bomb site silo just gravitationally attracted him. Just pulled him in. It
Yeah.
sucked him in, and he was just stuck to it.
Well, it's forced by territory for Gambit against match point in the first of 2 matches. Draken has had a good day so far. Those will enact some revenge. 4 and 4. Doesn't look good for Gambit. Hobbit was on a USP. So, oh my god, I got a gun! Taken out immediately. And Mo left alone now. Taking Get Right out. He will reveal his position. And NiP may move quickly. See 2 players heading towards Secret 10. There's an off angle towards the main exit. So Mo's not in a good spot.
Mr. Mo, what you got? Well, he doesn't have the bomb. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Forced out into the fight, but he wins it. Down critically low, however, in the process. Down to 14, to be precise. And Forest and Dennis will make themselves a lovely little nest in a bomb site. And Mo needs to somehow make his way over there. Won't happen. The headshot will fall, and 16-7 will be the score. Decisive victory from NiP on nuke.
Oh, and you're right, Dan. Forrest had a banger.
Yeah, he really had a lot of fun in this game.